Okay, welcome to part 3 of 6 videos about 2-point morphing on the MQR. Okay, so here we are with Teddy Love, and when we did our previous morphs, the pivot and rotate P&R points were the start and end points of the pattern. Now if you were really using the teddy bear for sashing, that doesn't do you much good, because then you have to know what that distance is, and that can be a pain in the butt. And it may be easiest just to measure to the middle of your border strip. So we have what we call the Sash Tool, and all it does is add a pair of jumps at mid-height on each side of the pattern. So I just hit that and bingo, there's our first jump in red and there's our final jump in red. So if I go to Morph Teddy, and we'll say it's for sashing, so we'll go fixed height, tap. You see our P&R points are now in the middle of the pattern instead of where the sewing was. So I hope that makes it plain. Now what's interesting about this is that you can morph any motif whatsoever with 2-point morphing if you use the Sash tool to add those jumps. Now that's a nonsense morph because of course I didn't move it anywhere. So I'm just going to go back, see to my favorite spiral 84 here. If I add the Sash tool, this starts and stops in the same spot, and now it added jumps. So if I wanted to morph it, pretend it's just any motif whatsoever, and there's my P&R points again. So it's morphable, whereas the original pattern was not as it stood. So we're going to go into some of our other sashing patterns. Here's one, for instance, a nice one from Ellen, and it starts and stops in that middle circle. So even though the pattern is intended to be used for as a sashing pattern, you can't use 2-point morphing with it unless you hit it with the Sash tool, which adds the jumps. And now of course I can morph it. Fixed, it was 1.5 inches high. I'll go, let's say, to the upper right this time, something like that, and scoots back to the start point, and there it is morphed to fit that sash. So see you next for the advanced stuff with this chain and flower and what have you, coming up in video number 4. See you in a minute.